place like?
Home? Oh, did he take her back?
Home. You took me home.
Everything should be just as it was. Books, CDs, laundry. So, back where you were.
Hi, I'm out. Leave a message.
I'm sorry.
I love this theme.
You there? Pick it up, will you?
It's Mum. It'll wait.
I will change what it means
Looks like
to
makeup.
be human.
Sorry.
That caught his attention.
I'm saying we should.
Yeah, one trip.
Yeah. I suppose things just kind of escalated.
Seems to happen to me a lot.
Sure does.
Thank you for everything.
Come on.
It was my pleasure.
This is not the end. Imagine that moment though, the moment you leave the doctor. And he's back.
No, I'm sorry. Did he say he was going to change what it means to be human?
I knew that caught his attention.
Are you sure it's safe?
There were some issues. They've been resolved. I'm
Yeah, it's
confident
makeup.
I'm in no serious danger.
The people in that room will represent billions of pounds worth of potential investment. Mr. Saxon wants to be sure they like what they see.
Saxon! Ugh.
It's an interesting perfume. What's it called?
Soap.
Oh, creepy old man. Back up, dude.
Whenever I wear this, something bad always happens.
It's not the outfit, that's just you.
Oh, God. Dude, she's so gorgeous.
In a James Bond kind of way.
James?
Yeah.
Oh, look, they got nibbles. I love nibbles.
Mum!
Oh. Yeah.
What's the occasion?
What do you mean? I'm just pleased to see you, that's all.
You saw me last night.
I know.
You disappeared last night.
I just went home.
On your own?
This is a fake
Mama bear instincts kicking in.
Doctor what? What have you heard then?
Well, you know, that your mother's mother and... No, actually, that's about it. We haven't had much time to chat, you know, been busy.
Busy? Doing what exactly?
Oh, you know, stuff.
Tonight, you will watch and wonder.
Is he raising someone from the dead?
Tomorrow, you will wake
Lazarus?
to a world which will be changed forever.
Ah! That can't be good. He might be mutated. Oh. Oh, de-aging. Okay. Oh, I know this actor. I've seen him in a few things. Sherlock Holmes, Game of Thrones.
Think of the money we'll make. People will sell their souls to be transformed like that. And I'll be first in line.
Oh, side effects.
You talk as if you see this every day, Mr.
Doctor. And, well, no, not every day, but I have some experience of this kind of transformation.
That's not possible.
Regeneration.
A chance for humanity to evolve, to improve.
This isn't about improving, this is about you and your customers living a little longer.
Not a little longer, Doctor. A lot longer. Perhaps indefinitely.
That's a fascinating question, right?
Grew up over there. Tiny flat above a butcher's shop.
It'll have a blue plaque soon. Richard Lazarus lived here.
Okay, this lady's totally gonna die, isn't she?
When the sirens went, we go to the cathedral there. People used to shelter in the crypt. The living, cowering among the dead.
An empire we can rule together.
No.
What's wrong?
Age difference.
Look at yourself, woman.
Then you'll know that I'll protect my involvement in the project. I'm sure
She's a goner.
Mr. Saxon will be interested. What's going on?
Be much experience?
Not really.
but the interview panel thought it had all the necessary attributes.
How
Yeah.
perceptive of them.
Dude's a bit of a
Where are
creeper.
you taking me?
He's got a lot of young
Up to the
assistants.
roof. It's a lovely evening. I thought I'd show you the view.
I think you need one of these.
Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Is that him? Saxon?
Do you know that man?
No, he's a friend of my daughter's.
Perhaps she should choose her friends more carefully.
Ooh, he knows. He knows that's the doctor?
Doesn't work like that. Some people live more in 20 years than others do in 80.
Hmm.
It's not the time that matters, it's the person.
But if it's the right person, what a gift that would be.
Or what a curse.
Ah, doctor knows all about it.
To yourself.
You're a joke, Lazarus! A footnote in the history of failure!
Nicely done, doctor. Poking at him.
She turned her back on us. Went in there with that thing. For him.
He must be some guy.
Maybe
is.
she loves him.
Is your daughter still in there with the doctor?
Do you know him?
He's dangerous. There are things you should know.
What things?
That guy outside, though, I keep thinking about him.
I thought we were gonna go
Perhaps
through the blender then.
Saxon.
Take that long just to reverse the polarity.
It's kind of pitiful.
Elliot saw that too.
This is the way the world ends.
Not with a bang, but a whimper.
Oh, Mrs. Jones, we still haven't finished our chat.
Keep away from my daughter.
Mum, what are you doing?
All of the mothers, every time.
He is dangerous. I've been told things. What are you talking about? Nothing but death and destruction.
I got out.
Back from the dead.
Should have known, really.
Where's he gone?
Just a child.
The sound of planes and bombs outside.
The Blitz. I was there.
Hmm. Him and Rose, right?
You're too young.
So are you. Facing death is part of being human. You can't change that.
No, Doctor. Avoiding death, that's being human. It's our strongest impulse to cling to life with every fiber of being. Maybe you are older than you look.
I'm old enough to know that a longer life isn't always a better one.
Hmm.
In the end, you just get tired. Tired of the struggle. Tired of losing everyone that matters to you.
Hmm.
Tired of watching everything turn to dust. If you live long enough, Lazarus, the only certainty left is that you'll end up alone.
That's a price worth paying.
The curse of the doctor.
Is it?
Ah.
Sound waves. Inspired.
Amplified.
It's your doctor, you should be thanking. What do you think something? He cut it a bit finer, didn't he?
It always does. It's more fun that way.
Who is he? He's
Is she gonna tell her?
He's the doctor.
The one and only. Though, the face of Bo had something to say about that.
I didn't know you could play.
Oh, well, you know, if you hang around with Beethoven, you're bound to pick a few things up.
Especially about playing loud.
It's been fun though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what'd you say? One more trip?
No.
She does want to
Sorry.
stay attached,
What do you mean?
right?
I thought you liked it.
I do, but I can't go on like this one more trip. It's not fair. I don't want to be just a passenger anymore. Someone taking on for a treat. I say you still see me. I'll stay here.
Okay.
Go on, doctor.
That's what you want. Well, I said okay.
Sorry?
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
He's made it official.
Well, you were never really just a passenger, were you?
Yeah.
I know who this doctor really is. I know he's dangerous. You're gonna get yourself killed. Please trust me. This information comes from Harold Saxon himself. You're not safe.
Saxon. Okay, so this Saxon fellow certainly seems to be part of the main storyline at this point. They're really starting to bring him in, whoever it is, because at this point I'm not really sure if that person that they showed a few times, this mysterious individual that showed up, I'm not sure if that's Saxon himself or some kind of intermediary. You know, they did establish that this Saxon person is running for office, as depicted in that poster in episode 1, right? So I'm not sure if that's him, if that's actually him in person, because I guess then people, they would have recognized him, right? Recognized him. So I'm leaning towards this being some kind of middleman, some kind of intermediary. But again, you know, it feels like this person, this actor, I feel like I might see him again, making a few more appearances again. Is it even possible that this might be the actual Saxon, and then there's someone placed as a fake Saxon in office or something? You see that kind of thing happen in a lot of different stories. You know, the real boss or the real character is, you know, trying to pass off as just another person, you know, a regular person, and then they install a fake king or boss or higher ranking official. So I'm not sure if that's going on here, but I have seen that in a bunch of different stories before. But yeah, you know, I'm sure this guy or this person is going to make another appearance at some point. And he seems to know quite a bit about the Doctor, right? He told Martha's mom that he's dangerous, and then he knows all about the death and destruction aspect of the Doctor, right? He moves on, but he leaves death and destruction. So again, you know, as much as I love the Doctor, a lot of these things are, you know, they do have some semblance of truth to them. He is a destructive force at times, right? And the Saxon person seems to think he's dangerous. Now, I think there's a few possibilities here. Either this is someone who actually knows of the Doctor and knows quite a bit about the Doctor, right? Or this is someone who's been tracking the Doctor and has established him as a dangerous entity, right? I'm getting the feeling that this person actually knows a lot about the Doctor. Saxon, that is. And they also established that he had quite a bit of money, or a substantial amount of funds invested in this Lazarus experiment, right? So the fact that he's interested in this experiment also makes things a bit more interesting as well, right? So is this someone that the Doctor might recognize the moment he sees him, right? Someone from his past, perhaps. You know, could this even have something to do with what the face of Bo said to him, right? That he is not alone. It's either that, or, you know, maybe that aspect of it, the face of Bo's final statement, you know, that might come into play later down the show in a different series. Or it could be attached to this. So let's see. It's becoming clear at this point that this Saxon guy, this Saxon fellow, isn't just someone running for office. There's clearly something going on. He knows about the Doctor or the Time Lords. I don't know if he knows about this specific Doctor, right? But it appears that he might know about at least know about the Time Lords, right? And, you know, he's been telling Martha's mom all about him, that he's dangerous. And, you know, of course, the episode ended on that note. Okay, so let's move on to Martha and the Doctor. So it's finally official. She is the new long-term companion to the Doctor, right? Now, of course, that was clear from episode 1, right? To the audience. But the Doctor didn't, you know, sorry, in the context of the story, the Doctor didn't really bring her on as a replacement or anything, right? As I said, things just escalated, and she kind of stayed on after he offered just one trip. But, you know, I like that it was the Doctor who suggested that she come on for yet another trip. Just one more trip, right? So it's clear at this point he knows that she is quite capable and she's quite impressive, and they make for a great team together, right? A great doctor companion team. He couldn't ignore that anymore. So despite his best efforts to not get attached to anyone else, or not bring anyone else on, though before I go any further, I don't think he's attached to Martha, not in the same sense as Rose. And I think they've made that clear in this series so far. He has been standoffish at times, and actually maybe his behavior towards Martha has been a bit, I don't know if I could say rude at times, but it has been standoffish, right? And she's noticed this, and she actually stands her ground again in this episode, much like in Gridlock. Some of that combative personality came out, right, out of Martha. And that's one of the things I like about her. Even though she absolutely loves traveling and clearly likes the Doctor, she's able to separate that and, stand her ground. And, that combative personality comes out again. And I really like that about her. She called him out again. She said, okay, it's not fair to, just have me on for just another trip, right? I don't want to be just a passenger or a tag along, right? And she put that out there. She said, if that's how you see me, then okay, this is probably goodbye. She had a similar stance in Gridlock, right? Because he that's the thing, right? Throughout the last few episodes, he'll brush off anytime she'll ask something important, or if she tries to, try to dig for answers that he doesn't want to give out at this point, he'll just kind of brush her off, right? In that sense, his treatment of Martha hasn't been the best at times, right? But it appears that is by design, right? He's trying to be standoffish at times, as to not get attached, perhaps. So yeah, in that sense, she also kind of called him out for his behavior, right? That you can't just have me come on as a tag along, as just a passenger, and then, just kind of set me off. It's not that easy to just separate from something like this, something this insane and life-changing and life-altering, as depicted in the opening of the episode, right? At that point in time, she legitimately thought that this is it and he's gone, and he was gone until that thing about Lazarus changing the meaning of being a human kind of, stuck in his head. But you can see just in those few seconds that it's going to take her some time to get over it, right? Again, it all goes back to school reunion and Sarah Jane, her explaining how it feels for someone like a companion to deal with this, right? Once they have to separate, especially if it's a less than happy separation, right? Less than perfect separation. So yeah, you can see just in those moments that it was clearly going to take Martha months, perhaps, to get over it, right? You can see that sense of dread and that sense of emptiness almost creeping in just in those few frames they showed of her. So yeah, she stood her ground, and I like that about her. And the Doctor realized, okay, yeah, maybe that wasn't a fair thing to do. So yeah, she's officially on as the the long-term companion. So that's really cool to see. Right then, the quest for immortality. I've got to say, I quite liked this character. It was a great one-episode character, Richard Lazarus. And that probably had something to do with the actor, because I did think it was a fantastic performance. Quite a nuanced performance, actually. And, I have seen him in a few other things, like I said, Game of Thrones. His Game of Thrones role is a bit smaller, but his role in Sherlock as Sherlock's brother, I've seen him there. And I've seen him in a few films. I'm pretty sure I've seen him in a few other things. He's quite good. He is quite a great actor. And honestly, I don't think they even needed the monster aspect to this. I think the character and the concept was compelling enough as is. And the actor certainly could have carried it. But then again, I do understand that, it's like a 45-minute episode and they do need some kind of threat, right? And that threat also allowed some great moments from Martha, right? Some great heroic moments from Martha. But yeah, I do think they could have done it without this big monster aspect if they really wanted to. And I think his mutations could have been depicted in a more subtle manner, perhaps, right? More of a Jekyll and Hyde situation. I think that could have been a good angle for this. But yeah, I do think he was a good enough character and a compelling enough character to carry it throughout. I really like that they gave him a backstory, right? It really helped in establishing his motives or putting his motives into perspective. And, they did that by establishing the definitive ghost of this character arc, right? His past, his near-death experience, right? And in those dark days during the Blitz, right? And it even kind of established some semblance of empathy towards this character. Though, of course, there's two sides to everything. He was too far gone in that, quest to conquer death, right? And I was saying that it established some semblance of empathy, and that was mainly in the cathedral scene. That was probably one of my favorite scenes of this series so far. I thought it was great use of the space, right? The grand space they had. That's certainly not a set. You could tell. And, I like that they used it to its full capacity. They got some fantastic angles of the place, right? And it actually made for some really interesting shots. One of them, the staging for one of the shots was the standout. It was Lazarus on the floor, right? Looking quite fragile at the moment. He's got this blanket on him. Back, bit of a parallel to his childhood, right? Being fragile and hiding in that place. And then you have the doctor who's circling him, right? And kind of walking around him, looking down at him in that sense. There's clearly some power dynamics at play in the staging of that shot, right? As he tells him that, facing death is part of being human. And in that sense, some could, call him out. And Lazarus does call him out for that, right? He's like, who are you to judge me, right? I believe he said that. He is a Time Lord, right? He's not a human, but the thing is, he's been around for so long that he understands humans, right? Inside and out. But again, he's not a human. So, someone, an alien, essentially telling a human, no, that's part of, this is how, you can't do this. And, facing death is part of being a human. I could see how some humans could look at that situation and, tell them, no, you don't get to tell us that, right? You're an alien. You're not a human. You don't get to tell humans how they should go about things. But again, he has so much experience, centuries of experience. But in this situation, he is able to give quite a unique perspective on the topic at hand, right? The situation at hand, immortality, or cheating death, or not, growing old, because he is perhaps centuries old himself, right? And he regenerates, so he knows all about it, right? The curse of the Doctor, that's been established throughout the show at this point, right? Again, going back to School Reunion, that was the first time I really got to see his feelings on, outliving companions and people he gets attached to. And, he gives it to him straight. He's like, he tells him that this isn't as grand as you're making it out to be. Trust me, at the end, if you're the only person around, you're going to be alone. That's one of the only guarantees of this, right? That you're going to end up alone. The curse of the Doctor, right? I feel like I'm going to keep referencing School Reunion throughout the series or the show because it really was such an important episode in establishing how a companion handles it. And it was the first time they really got into the Doctor's thought process on, companions and losing loved ones and people he cares for. So the Doctor clearly sees this, this aspect of being a Time Lord as a curse, right? But, in that sense, you can also say that it's probably helped him quite a bit having that kind of time on his hands, right? It's probably helped him get over some guilt and regrets and sadness, right, and loss. So ultimately, it's more of a gift and a curse, right? In that sense, because there are certainly some pros to having that kind of lifespan, right? But there's certainly a lot of cons as well, right? And I've seen them depicted throughout these first 3 series at this point. Yeah, I like that. I quite like that cathedral scene. There's some really poignant stuff in there. You know, their discussion about immortality and, you know, if it's right for humans to cheat death, right? Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, consider dropping a like. Consider leaving your comments. Give me your thoughts. Consider subscribing to the channel. There's a schedule in place now, so there's going to be a specific day for Doctor Who. If you are interested in early access to the next episode right now, or maybe even full length for this episode, consider checking out the Patreon page. And in doing so, you'll be supporting the channel. And consider checking out the pinned comment. It's the first comment in the comment section. It has links to the Patreon page. It has links to my social media. And if I need to make any updates, I usually edit that pinned comment. So that's it for this one. 6 episodes in, I guess 7 if you count the Christmas special. It feels really good to be in there proper, right? I'm really in there now, so it's full steam ahead, man. I'm going all the way, right? That's always been the plan, and it's going to continue. So thanks for joining me again, and I hope to see you soon. Take it easy.